The return of normal seasonality for home price appreciation. If you're thinking about making a move, one of the biggest questions you have right now is probably, what's happening with home prices? And despite what you may be hearing in the news, nationally home prices aren't falling. It's just the price growth is beginning to normalize. Here's the context you need to know to really understand that trend. In the housing market, there are predictable ebbs and flows that happen each year. It's called seasonality. Spring is the peak of home buying season when the market is most active. That activity is typically still strong in the summer, but begins to wane as the cooler months approach. Home prices follow along with that seasonality because prices appreciate most when something is in high demand. That's why there's a reliable long-term home price trend. The graph uses the data from the Case-Shiller to show typical monthly home price movement from 1973 to 22. It's not adjusted, so you can see the seasonality. As the data shows, at the beginning of the year, home prices grow, but not as much as they do in the spring and summer markets. That's because the market is less active in January and February, since fewer people move in the cooler months. As the market transitions into the peak of home buying season in the spring, activity ramps up, home prices go up with a lot more in response. Then as fall and winter approach, activity ceases again, price growth slows, but still typically appreciates. After several unusual unicorn years, today's higher mortgage rates help usher in the first signs of the return of seasonality. As Selma Help, the chief economist at CoreLogic, explains, high mortgage rates have slowed additional price surges with monthly increases returning to regular seasonal averages. In other words, home prices are still growing but are in line with historic seasonal expectations. Why is this so important for you to understand? In the coming months, you're going to see the media talk more about home prices. In their coverage, you're likely to see industry terms like this: appreciation, when prices increase; deceleration of appreciation, when prices continue to appreciate but a slower, more moderate pace; depreciation, when prices decrease. Don't let the terminology confuse you or let any misleading headlines cause any unnecessary fear. The rapid pace of home price growth the market saw in the recent years was unsustainable. It has to slow down at some point, and that's what we're starting to see. Deceleration of appreciation, not depreciation. Remember, it's normal to see price growth slow down as the year goes on. And that definitely doesn't mean home prices are falling. It just means rising at a more moderate pace. The bottom line is, while the headlines are generating fear and confusion on what's happening with home prices, the truth is simple. Home price appreciation is returning to normal seasonality. If you have any other questions about what's happening with our prices here in our local market, let's be sure to connect.